warmers, hot water bottles, and plenty of other nice things that we can quite easily access to remind ourselves that life is very good. And the reason why I propose these good things is not to forward an agenda of being frivolous or by being closed-minded, by telling you that if you simply ignore bad things, they'll conveniently go away. It's to remind you that there are good things and they are worth striving for. And instead of trying to undertake the larger, more heavy woes of the world upon yourself individually at one point in time, I would urge you to start small and break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. For instance, if you are concerned about climate change or the environment, start recycling. If you are concerned about saving the cows and becoming a vegetarian, great. These are small, reasonable and practical things that you personally can undertake to achieve. Because if you are striving to take upon the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's very unmanageable for you to do it independently, which is why you need to incorporate yourself first before moving into the wider collective. So in order to do that and to orientate yourself more successfully, you have to do some sort of personal housekeeping. And the Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson has a neat little tip for those of you who want to change the world. Clean your room. Because if you think about it, your bedroom is the spiritual support base of the human soul. It is where you go to unwind, it's where you go to clear your head, it's where you go to settle yourself, it's where you sleep, relax, and clear your mind. And so if you are able to vacuum your floor and make your bed and organise your bookshelves and succeed this kind of spiritual housekeeping, it will allow you to orientate yourself more successfully in the world around you. Because if you think of life as the progression from point A to point B, it helps if you are standing on a point A that is stable and allows you to see clearly what is ahead of you, to allow you to progress cleanly forward into point B. Essentially, if you are able to orientate your spiritual base of operations, you are then able to navigate through the world successfully. And so this again comes back to the idea of starting small. Because if you do undertake so much hardship and woe, and if you do try and strive to solve the bigger issues around you independently before orientating yourself, before having a stable foundation stone with which to progress outward, it's going to become very challenging for you to do that successfully. Jordan Peterson says if you want to change the world, you start from yourself and work outward. So it's all about orientation before you can incorporate yourself into the wider collective. And even if we are being informed every generation that we may be doomed in a very short span of time, which can in itself be depressing, it is important nonetheless to remain aware of wider societal issues. So I would urge you to remain open-minded and to remain receptive to what is around you, but to do so with a sufficient degree of realism, I would say. Because as much as you may wish to, you yourself cannot change the world independently. You must break it down into smaller, more manageable steps that allow you to work outwards successfully. And the message I really want to convey here is just find good things and make them immediately accessible, because it can become very wearying at times to be reminded consistently that we're doomed. So I would urge you, when you check your phone and when you check the news, absorb what is being said, but then make sure your home screen has a nice photo on it. Have a photo of your mum, have a photo of your dog, have a photo of something that makes you happy. Make your ringtone your favourite song. So every time someone calls you, not only do you have the anticipation of having a phone call with a friend, but you get a good tune to get you going. My ringtone's Heroes by David Bowie. I love picking up the phone. So the message I want to convey here is find the good. Remember that life ain't all bad. We may be being told it is, but please, I implore you to find the good and make sure it's easily accessible. And also to orientate yourself before you try and incorporate yourself into the wider world. Start from within, start small, then work outwards. Find the good. Thank you.